Hey, Jenny. Hey, Mike. You guys probably can't really see me. See my eyeglasses glowing in the dark. It is very... Hello, AI mod. Can you guys hear me? I have, I'm actually wearing my earpiece tonight. And the fire is going out. Hello, Belinda. I don't know if you guys can see. Can you see my fire? It's not doing very well. I set it up earlier and the wood is not working. It's a lot more wet here. Hello, Lisa Ann. It has been storming all day, so that's one of the reasons why I'm actually not going out. Yeah, I know, it looks sick. And not in a good sick. It'll just take a hot minute. It'll be fine. Yes, it is dark. Here, let me turn you guys around. You can see the fire. I'm going to stoke it a little bit. I was a Girl Scout. I know how to do this. Well, I don't think it's gonna last until 1 a.m. So. Who else we got in here tonight? And I don't know. Did you guys say you can hear me? Are you able to hear me? Not sure. A birthday party? Well, happy birthday. Smoke. Oh, that's not gonna work. I'm cheating. Let's go. So I guess you can hear me.
go.
How's that? Ooh-wee. Yeah, my trash cans. Ooh, now that my eyes are burning with smoke. Hello, how is everybody? I'm sorry I'm not doing boots on the ground tonight. I actually had, it's been hailing and raining massively all day. And yeah, city fire. I'm a city folk. Yeah, thanks. It's funny because my daughter and her boyfriend came home a little while ago and they're like, "Are you going out? Aren't you leaving?" And I said, "No, I'm gonna do stories by the fire." "Oh, okay, we're gonna come out." They're playing video games downstairs. Figures. Hope everybody's doing well on this Good Friday. Yeah, the wood is, I got it from inside, but the wood is still damp. It doesn't matter, I guess. A little fire. Sharon's messaging me. I think she forgot that I had a live tonight.
Talking mad shit.
Huh?
Talking mad shit.
I'm live, Danny.
Hi, Mommy.
Oh, were you on? Were you watching?
I was on. I watched you.
You didn't say anything. Yes.
So your fire went out.
Yeah, why don't you fix it?
I don't know how to fix it.
There's more paper in the house that could be burned. Yes, Lord, this is the day that the Lord died, and I am grateful every day for the sacrifice that he made. Make sure you put it under the wood. Watch your mouth, please.
Shoot.
So, I was going to tell a story about a location known for haunting. Something had discussed something that had been discussed last week in regards to why things happen on different land. And is it cursed land? Is it to do with native land? Is it to do with what is the connection? Yes, potty mouth is back, Belinda. Your potty mouth. See, I'm not making it up.
Can you see me?
Kind of. Once you get the fire going over there.
It's kind of hard. Got smoke in my eye.
Jenny says hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
Use this to fan the flame.
Oh my gosh. So quiet.
Well, that's because the fire is not going. It's just smoldering. Smolder. Yeah, the fire needs to get going, Danny.
Oh, I'm just, give me a minute.
Yeah, there are a lot of storms lately. But it's the season. 'Tis the season. Kind of concerned with what she got to start a fire. What did you get? Oh. I'll let her do the fire. Yeah, I've had a migraine all day too. Whew. See, that was good to have her out here for something. Yes, Jenny, it's very true. I haven't listened to it yet. I was going to listen to it afterwards, your Blue Man story. I didn't want it to alter my story tonight. I don't know what it was about, but a cyclone. Oh my gosh. I hope everybody's okay. Thank you. A cold shoulder shirt. It's more like a t-shirt that I cut the neck out of. Yes, Mike, that is always the best thing, to give it to God. I have been having such horrible anxiety all day. Salt water or caffeine, but honestly, I've been praying over my migraine over the last hour and a half. Young gals like, okay, thank you. And I call me young.
I mean, you are young.
Oh, really?
Yeah?
Normally she tells me I'm like 60.
I don't know, I'll tell you that you... Oh shit, it's blue!
Yeah, careful, because it doesn't have the cover on there, so all it would take is a gust of wind for the paper to blow off. That's why the logs need to actually burn.
I'm trying to burn them. I'm sorry?
You gotta stick the paper underneath.
I've been trying. Woman, I've been trying.
I will YouTube it later. Thank you, Belinda. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't feel so young all the time.
I can't do this.
Oh. If I have to end the live early, it was probably because my daughter decided to set herself on fire.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh god, I'm sweating. Hey, now I can see you though.
Yeah, they can.
Hey, the log is on fire.
Cool. We'll make a Boy Scout out of you yet. Okay, so the story that I was going to talk about is property that was purchased. Actually, was in McGuanago, Wisconsin, back in the 50s. You were unsubbed, Lisa. Well, I don't know how that happened. Because I can't unsub anybody. Yeah, I told you. You want to put that out?
They're out. Oh. My eyes.
So, the story that I was going to tell you about in particular is a property that is located in McGuanago, Wisconsin. Back in the 50s, there was a very wealthy land developer who, through means of knowledge and just good businessmanship, he was able to purchase. Yeah, you can remove them. Able to purchase properties, and he basically did a lot of residential buildings, apartment buildings, and such like that. But ended up making lots of money doing this and was very good at it. And him and his wife decided to purchase a large acreage of property in McGuanago, Wisconsin. Well, that was nice. Oops. $860,000 seconds? Is that what that says? I can't untime him. How did you manage that one? I know you're sorry. I don't know. Maybe he'll come back under a different account. Wide open? Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys, moderators, I was going to tell you anyways, tip for timing out and deleting messages. Let the message scroll up a little bit and then scroll it down. It'll pause your chat long enough to actually time out.
Oh.
Yeah, I figured you were looking for that scrubby person. It'll pause the chat long enough to actually time out or delete the correct person that you're trying to do, because I know that yeah, it does happen a lot. Oh, unsubbed. I don't know about the unsubbing, but yeah, just when you're timing out or deleting messages, at least he kind of understands. But when you go to do that, yeah, just scroll up a little bit so that it actually pauses the chat. You don't have to try and see. You don't have to try and hurry up and get it before it keeps scrolling, and that way it'll slow it down enough and you can actually make sure you're getting the right one. So, sorry about that. If that makes sense to you, ladies. So, anyways, so this property that this guy and his wife had purchased, it is out in McGuanago, and it was a large land large area of land that they were going to build. It was going to be like a top-notch resort. Like, he would talk about how, you know, presidents would come out there, and they would have, it would be a golf resort, but a country club and hunting lodge. And because it's, the amount of property and land that's out there is just, it's massive, phenomenal. And so
Oh,
what he did was he dumped like millions of dollars into this resort, this lodge. And upon doing so, him and his wife ended up living out on, they built like a cottage kind of thing so that he could work out there while still living close on the property. Because I think that was ultimately his goal, was that they were going to actually live out there, because it's a beautiful area of land. So what that was really rude. Belinda's not old. That's mean. So in 1971
I can't help you anymore.
is when I believe, or 71 or 72 is when he purchased the property. And then through over the next 3 years, things just didn't go right. He was having so many issues between financial issues and the bank. Things weren't going well. People were starting to say that they thought maybe he was cursed. The property was cursed. But then, yeah, you're not staying out here?
I'm sweaty.
It's because you've been playing in the fire.
I tried helping you.
Yeah, you can't undo a timeout. No, can't undo a timeout. I am not 51. Shut your face. Excuse me?
I said you don't look like it.
Oh, thanks.
Quit bullying my mom, y'all. Oh.
Hello, Wolf Lady. Good to see you. Be nice if the wood would start on fire and stay on fire. So, anyways, with the things that were going on with this property and things that were happening, I don't know, a lot. It's a lot of seconds. Yeah, things just weren't going well. He wasn't able to make payments to the construction workers that he had, the contractors that he had out there, and so forth. And what ended up happening ultimately was the banks ended up foreclosing, and the banks ended up sending the police out to actually evict him and remove him from the property, him and his wife, which really kind of sucked because that's where they were living too. They had the cabin on this property. The buildings were halfway finished. He had just changed his mind so much and put so much into it that, things kept changing throughout the construction process. But anyways, long story short, before they actually removed him, he made the statement that if he wasn't going to build and he wasn't going to be able to develop the property, nobody was. They removed him, and this was in 73, and in 76, he ended up passing away at the age of 67. So this resort ended up laying abandoned for years. I think again in 94 was when somebody ended up finally purchasing it again and was going to try and redevelop it. But yeah, I know, but it kind of sucks when you can't see anything. So another company came in and they were going to develop it. And because the building had laid to waste to the elements and such for so long, there was a lot that had to go into it. So they started to reconstruct it and do stuff with it. And I believe it was a few years after that, they ended up, to try and boost income, opened it up during the Halloween time as a haunted house, haunted attraction. And this is when I actually was introduced to the property, because a group of friends of mine and we actually drove out to the property to go check it out and do the haunted house. The company that put it on was a really great haunted house, very spooky stuff, but the land out there it's massive, and it's quite a drive from where I live here. Okay, go change your channel. So what ended up happening was the new companies that came in started experiencing strange things going on. It was a lot of that same typical stuff. So contractors would arrive on site, tools would be moved, tools wouldn't work, tools would start to turn on and off on their own. People were getting injured, people would fall off ladders, and so what would happen is, of course, they would attribute it to the curse of the property. Ah, there you go. So, that's not going to go on for long. So they attributed all of these happenings to the property. Things were going bad, nothing was going right, and soon the new company that actually purchased the property, yeah, hi Grace. I know, if I could get that fire actually going. It's so damp here. Where were they? So the company that ended up purchasing afterwards ended up going through more financial trouble. They also started to lose funds, run out of funds, and sooner or later they ended up also Chapter 11. And this seemed to be the same thing that was happening over and over again. There was another, she took off with my poker. Dang kid. There was another company that purchased the property. I believe in 2002. And they too, even though it started off okay, they too started to deal with financial issues and financial troubles. So, in, let's say, late 2002, yeah, in late 2002, the property ended up burning down, burned almost 2/3 of the property. And 2/3 of the building, I should say. So it never got developed. They have yet to be able to sell it again. Because of course they want, it's this large land area. But there is a hiking area out there. And there have been several accounts of people having other experiences. Actually, yeah. I live in the city. Sorry, guys. I didn't say I was telling ghost stories in the woods. Fire trucks too. But people have had other experiences of voices and everything out there too. So before the property actually burned down, a lot of the other accounts that had occurred was, of course, lights going on and off, even though there was no power to the building. Banging noises, screams, hollers, crying. People would go hiking out in the area and they would see shadow figures walking around the property. Which, okay, you could say maybe teenage kids and stuff screwing around out there. But there would be, I mean, lots of very strange occurrences out there. So it kind of makes me wonder, the land area, even though it may have been open and free and nothing attached to it previously, if a large area of land has large misfortune upon it, loss and pain, grief, sorrow, if that in itself is enough to, if that in itself is enough to open up the area for evil to inhabit it. So that's why it kind of made me wonder, like the other day when Mike was talking about native lands and why the reservations possibly have such things going on. Well, in actuality, reservations were created by the US government. So that being the case, where everybody was forced to go to and end up weren't necessarily, I mean, those were designated by the government and under, I mean, war and anguish and pain, because all of the lands were native lands. So could it have been that a lot of the reason for native reservations and lands that have things attached to them is because of the history of the pain and the anguish that the people suffered? I don't know. That's kind of one of the things that I was wondering about. I don't know what you guys think. Yep. The war with the Sasquatch. Danny went back in the house. She's a bum. She doesn't like being outside. She'd rather hang out in the basement and play video games. I could just sit outside all day. I love it outside. But that's a theory. I don't know what you guys think. Why certain land, certain areas, certain buildings. I used to also think that like entities would inhabit, or I guess haunt, you could say, old historical homes because, you know, terrible things happened there. But I have also been seeing more and more brand new homes having issues of hauntings that are really quite unexplained. Like, why? I always think that so an old house that was renovated, or if somebody had died in it or something like that, that it would open it up for strange paranormal type activity. But that's not always the case. So what causes even new houses now? Tina style, huh? I've only been fishing at night once on the boat, and I didn't want to go in. Yeah, that's not, nobody's behind me. I wonder too, yeah, if there's residual energies left behind and that's what causes it. Yep. This is my outside sanctuary. A few years ago I ended up getting the gazebo and the stone patio. I got the furniture, the fire, well, my dad actually gave me the fire pit. I've got, you guys can hear my tinking of my hanging plant garden behind me. It's okay, Lisa. I'm just glad you're here. So I'm hoping as soon as the rains all stop and things can kind of dry up a little bit, I can finish with the backyard. I have some more weeding to do and some raised garden beds. I just picked up some more seeds today when I stopped at the hardware store. Plant some squash, onions, lettuce, beans. I love beans. And sweet peas. But yeah, so that's one of the things. I was actually kind of surprised when I was looking into it a little earlier today, see what kind of updates had been on it, because I like to follow those every once in a while when things don't change. And in this particular case, they said that with the building actually burning down, and them opening it up to hikers, I need to go out there and see about doing some research out there, going out there and bring you guys with. Yeah, for a million seconds. Yeah, Lisa. It's okay. It's okay. We know. Mistakes happen. At least it happened to Mike. But what is? So yeah, I'll have to I don't know, maybe I'll do a day hike out there and then take you guys for a night hike once. Yep. Well, and I kind of wonder too if between the cryptid activity and the alien activity and the paranormal type spiritual activity, a lot of it, I mean, you know is connected, and you know that they feed on negative energy. So, you know, are they necessarily, I mean, feeding on the negative energy to the point where they end up destroying us, and then what? They continue to thrive on the land, or they're connected to the land? Cheeky boy. I don't know if it followed her, but definitely has weird things that happen in her house. And again, I don't know if, you know, even with the activity that happened in my house, so whatever had occurred, there was something here, left, then something came back. So once there's an opening, does that make it easier for something to come back again later? Also, could it be, I mean, us giving it place simply because, yeah, well, you know what? Speaking of Jerome, that's kind of why I was doing this outside, because, and I'm using my earpieces, because if anything comes through, you guys will hear it. Because these are the same earpiece headsets that I use. Now, I'm not saying he's back. He's not back in the house anyways. No, nothing that I brought into the house is new. In fact, I usually don't. Okay, I'm kind of cheap when it comes to that stuff. So like my furniture is old. I bought it in I think I bought it in 2015. 2015 is when I bought my furniture. So all the furniture that I have is the same furniture that I've had for years. It's all my furniture. I do go antiquing. I do like to pick up antiques, but usually it's not anything like that, and I haven't done it in a while either. So when the things started going on in the house this last time, I don't know, maybe it was something for me doing a boots on the ground. But again, I don't give it place. I do tell it to leave. I don't let it bother me. I don't let it scare me. Since I was a kid, gateways or portals are not sealed, right? Things can come back. Yes, I do believe that. I do believe that it is important for portals and gateways, openings, entryways, doorways, whatever you want to call them. They need to be sealed. Mike doesn't necessarily need to bring anything home. I think they're just all around Oklahoma. Yeah. And again, I usually don't give it place. I don't. If something does happen in the house, I brush it off. I don't acknowledge it, or I tell it to leave and tell it has no place here. Enemies that do astral projection can come to your home. Yes, if there's an opening. Yes, I do believe that too. Demons can come back. This action. Yes. Yes. I understand that. Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about too. I think I heard those voices as well. Wasn't Sarah with him at that time? I'll tell you, it might not be much of a fire, but it's perfect for roasting marshmallows. It's got that nice bright red embers to it. I love antiques too. I'm a sucker for antiques. Well, I know it's not much of a consolation, but I'll get out there. Belinda, I'd like to just travel to New Zealand and do some investigating there by you. Told you I'm going to take you up on that and stay at your place. Yeah, I'll be sniffing for the sweet, squeaky cheese. Lone Wolf McQuaid. But there's a lot of weird things that happen in this state. I love that too. I've always wanted to see New Zealand. Cold, actually no, it's in the upper 50s right now. It was like in the 60s earlier today. So it's probably about 58, 57, 58 right now. It's not bad. Cook me on her stove or cook for me on her stove? That would be cool. I know Lord of the Rings was filmed in New Zealand. Thank you, Shady. Yes, Wolf Lady, that would be fun. Oh, Sharon hasn't been in here at all, has she? She just said she never got a notification. I bet any money they mass reported me before I even started. Is that possible? Yeah, I know I'm not going to have a whole lot on here because I'm not actually boots on the ground tonight. But for everybody that is in the chat, I ask, please leave a comment afterwards. If you see somebody else's comment, make sure you hit the like on it. And just share this out or share out another one. Just share it because they are really hitting us hard. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. I know. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Thanks, Belinda. I appreciate it. Yeah, Sharon. I'm just telling you stories tonight. It was hailing and thunderstorming so bad all day today that if I were to go anywhere in the woods tonight, I would just be drowning in mud. So, story time, what is it? And my daughter said she was going to be out here too to share story time, but she ended up going in. Video games are more important. Yeah, I saw the storms that were coming in through Oklahoma tonight. Those were massive. Pray everyone stays safe. So another story that I remember, I'm not sure where I heard it from, happened on Lake Michigan. So we get, well, especially in the past, Lake Michigan has been known, I don't know how, if anybody is aware of how unpredictable Lake Michigan is particularly. And I don't know if it's because of the way that the lake is positioned or what, but the undertows and the whitecaps and all of the stuff that happens on Lake Michigan is quite it's scary. Like, you can't go out on Lake Michigan in a small boat. You need a large boat to be able to go out. Yeah, it is insane. And there's a area of Lake Michigan which is called the Michigan Triangle. And one of the things in particular that I looked into when I had experienced the UFO that I actually saw fly over downtown, I looked to see if it lined up, but the area that I am in, I'm outside of that Michigan Triangle. So it's kind of, I mean, I guess there's no boundaries. But yep, Alaska Triangle, I've heard of that one too. There's really not a whole lot of boundaries to, I mean, I guess anything. Boundaries are man-made. But there is a lot of strange things that definitely happen on Lake Michigan. And in many of the accounts of ships that have gone down and gone under and have not been able to be found again, there have been, I mean, because scuba divers love going out and looking for all of these sunken ships and such. And every year in Lake Michigan, there's a certain time between right at the springtime. It's very interesting if you have the ability to fly over in a plane during the right conditions. After the lake begins to really thaw out, you can actually see, because everything is so, all the sediment has kind of settled to the bottom, you can actually see like crystal clear down quite a distance, and you can actually see where some of the ships have actually sunk through history. And so scuba divers are actually able to go out there and pinpoint it, because once you're down there, during normal times too, I guess the sediment it's really murky. It's hard to see down there. They've been able to go down and find some of these ships and such, and even then it's like these ships just sank for no reason. It's very odd. Did they tip and just take on water, break up and sink that way? No clue. But a lot of it was done through the logging. They would bring back the, because that was the port that they would use for a lot of the logging to come back and forth between like Chicago and upper Wisconsin and Michigan. So they would fill up or put the logs on the boats and the ships, the liners, to bring down for buildings and such. Where the lights come from? Those are my solar lights, and they have a mind of their own. They pop on and off every once in a while. I don't know why they do that. I used to have some on my tree in the back too, but yes, the Edmund Fitzgerald. That was another one. It was a strange one. Waters don't give up the dead. Dead men tell no tales. I believe there's another, and I don't know if it comes out of Lake Michigan. I think it does. There is a story of divers finding another sunken ship. I think it is in Lake Michigan. And the way that this happened was the ship actually ended up taking on water. It was a party ship. The ship ended up taking on water, and they were aware of it. They were actually able to, at the time, get everybody off the ship, but they weren't able to save the boat. And the boat ended up floating out and it ended up finally sinking to the bottom of Lake Michigan. So, scuba dive Broken Bow Lake and said there are catfish that had mouths like giant cave opening. I believe it. So some divers actually got down, found the ship, and they were, going through the ship. And now, keep in mind, nobody actually died in the boat at the time. But they went down there, and of course they're looking around because it's like everything is, like a time capsule, sealed up in that time. And it's kind of cool to go down, and I mean, I even like watching, the video clips of scuba divers going down, and, like the Titanic. Well, this particular time, I believe there were some divers that had gone down, and they split up, and one of the divers got lost. So when the second diver came back up, the first diver, I'm sorry to hear that, Lisa. You have a good night. Good night, Lisa Ann. One of the divers ended up, the second diver came back up, the first diver never did. He ended up contacting Coast Guard. They came out, and they ended up going down, and they found him, but by that point he had actually passed away and had passed away. They weren't able to save him. Accounts since then where divers have actually gone down into the ship have now had accounts where they see the ghost of a diver. At one point, I think one account was one of the divers ended up actually getting lost within the ship and couldn't find his way out, and he thought it was his partner on the other side flashing a flashlight to try and get his attention. So he turned around and started swimming back towards the light, and he ended up finding his way out, and his partner was up on top, and he's like, yeah, thanks, I'm glad you did that, because I got lost, I couldn't see you. And he says, I don't know what you're talking about, I came up because I couldn't find you, I was getting ready to call the Coast Guard. So it was not his diving buddy that was down there that had signaled him to the way out. It was somebody else. I know, right? It really kind of, makes you think what are these spirits? What are these things? I mean, the fact that, and I know according to the Bible, it says, if we aren't in our bodies, then we're not just roaming around here. But there's a lot of questions as far as why would, especially, when you hear stories like that, why would there all of a sudden be something now after a death of somebody that would have been under such great, because honestly, all ways to go, drowning by far is the scariest thought in my mind. I would rather be stuck in a fire than drowning. Yeah, I knew that was coming. But, but I think, I guess if you know your time is coming and you are, many people have said that, they thought they were going to die and they just they gave it over and they were okay with it. They knew where they were going. So in those cases, I guess it would be kind of interesting to know if the person that had passed away that is supposedly haunting the underwater ship believed in an afterlife and believed in God and was saved. It just kind of, that's scary to think, Riley. But I don't know, as far as like why these, yep, I would not want to drown. But why would there, especially, that's really eerie to think of a ghost, diver ghost, or a diver entity, to see that in an area that wasn't supposed to have anything there. I don't think that mermaids and sirens, I don't know. I don't think mermaids and sirens are different. I think they are, kind of like Bigfoot and Dogman. They're all the same. We just give them different names depending on the experiences that we've had with them. So it's spoke about in the Bible that sirens are the cursed women that slept with the fallen angels and bared the children, the Nephilim. Let's see. That is scary, Jenny. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I'm thankful she made it too. I couldn't imagine my life without my Ginny. But I do believe that there are oceanic water type cryptids, and I do believe that these sirens or aquatic cryptids are that. And again, it just depends on the experiences that people have to create what the storyline is. I mean, I've been seeing more and more things where they claim, you know, that they're luring people out to sea. That's nuts. So between, you know, I mean, even think about like what happened the other night with the orb that was luring Mike out over the bluff. Do I think that these things are nefarious? Yeah, ultimately. They're trying to gain our trust. I don't trust them. And I think a lot of times they work their way in by people thinking that they're not being nefarious. And by allowing them that entry, that's how they can, you know, get a hold of us. Because if you think about, for every one person that has even with Bigfoot or Dogman, for every one person that has a good encounter, they go around and tell somebody else, actually, I had a good encounter. It wasn't bad. It wasn't all that evil. So where people would normally attribute these things to darkness and evil and demons and bad experiences, more and more people are starting to come out and go, well, not all of them are bad. And the more people that hear these stories and go, well, maybe not all of them are bad, it opens the next person up to something that is going to be able to basically get their claws into them. I don't know if you guys necessarily agree. I mean, honestly, up until a few years ago, I would have fought you tooth and nail and said no, that these things are not all bad. Aliens aren't all bad. Cryptids aren't all bad. But I truly have started to believe that the only beings on this earth that have free will are us. And yeah, humans are almost more dangerous than these things. But is it because humans are unpredictable? I mean, everybody says, well, animals are unpredictable. No, you can pretty much predict that a wild animal is going to be a wild animal. But humans, you can't always tell. Could be your sibling your cousin, your aunt, your own parents. You think that no matter what, you know, family, friends, childhood friend, they're going to protect you. You got each other, and it's not always the case. You know for a fact they're not all bad from my experience with them since 1974. Never heard of a mustard. Humans usually do have a pattern. Night, Belinda. Take care. I don't know. I think that I hate to say I don't think they are good, but I think there's a lot worse. There's a lot more bad ones out there than there are good. And if there are good ones, why? What makes them different? Woo! The wind's starting to pick up. Some are born psycho. You know, Riley, Ron, I really believe that some are really born psycho. I do believe that. I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, I do believe that. For sure, Mike. Okay, Wolf Lady, sounds good. Well, now the fire is starting to look like it's burning right. But I don't know. I had you guys on for, I've been on for a little over an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, 13 minutes. And I am still dealing with, and now the rain is starting again, so it's probably going to get loud. I'm still dealing with a headache. I with my mom, we didn't tell her about the program, so I don't want her to freak out. Uh-oh. Yeah, Ginny, I learned the hard way too. I gotta stop inviting my mom to these things as well. Woo! And here it comes. So that being said, guys, I'm gonna put this fire out. It's gonna get really hard to hear, I'm sure. Everyone have a blessed Easter. I wish everybody a safe, happy weekend. And do something good for somebody this weekend. How's that? I'm gonna try to. Love you all. And I'll see if I can look into that location and take you guys out to that Rainbow Springs. Have a great night, everybody. God bless. Keep on truthin'. Night, guys.